Ahoy! And welcome to the Boating Hour with Captain Rick. The Boating Hour brings you the latest and greatest essential information about everything that sails, floats, or motors upon the high seas of Southern California. From landlubbers to old salts, there'll be something for everyone. So climb aboard and get ready to sail with Captain Rick.
Ahoy out there, and welcome to the Boating Hour. I'm Captain Rick, and I want to thank you for joining us here on AM 870. We're here every Saturday at 4 p.m., and please be sure to visit us on the web at theboatinghour.com. And now on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble, The Boating Hour with Captain Rick. Thanks to our sponsors for our show today. For a healthy gut, the best probiotic on the market, Livia One Probiotics, natural, organic, and allergen-free. And Raycom radios, reliable two-way radios throughout Southern California. Today, I have a special guest for you, Valerie from the Aquarium in Manhattan Beach. Thanks for joining Captain Rick on the Boating Hour.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
This is really exciting to have you because, Valerie, I didn't know there was an aquarium that I could go to on the Manhattan Beach Pier. I remember surfing there as a kid, and I go to Manhattan Beach, but I've never walked the pier. Tell me about the aquarium, and of course, plug your website.
Of course, yes. Well, we are the Roundhouse Aquarium. We are here out at the end of the Manhattan Beach Pier. You can find us at roundhouseaquarium.org, all one word. Make sure you put Roundhouse. A lot of autocorrect to Roadhouse. That's not going to be us. So make sure you type in roundhouseaquarium.org. And we are actually open to the public for free every single day. So during the week, Monday through Friday, we are open from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then Saturday and Sunday, we are open from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Of course, we appreciate donations if you come to visit because we are a nonprofit, but we want to make sure that everyone can come in and see some local marine life. So it is free to visit during our public hours.
The surfers, when we used to go there as a kid, we would always look at I never knew it was an aquarium. I didn't know it was a museum. I've never walked the Manhattan Beach Pier, but we would look at that and say, boy, that'd make a great beach apartment.
It definitely wins best office view in any contest that I'm in. My office has the best view for sure.
Was it ever a working pier, or has it always been like a service pier, or was it built for this?
We're actually the oldest cement pier on the West Coast. The Manhattan Beach Pier is. We celebrated our 100th anniversary a couple years ago. I don't have the exact date memorized, but not too long ago. And the Roundhouse has been a few different things before it was the aquarium. We've been here since 1980, so we've been here for a little while. But before that, it was a bait shop, and I don't even know what it might have been before that.
I imagine a lighthouse.
It's been a few different things. You would think, but yeah. I don't know that it was ever a lighthouse. At one point in time, the pier actually went out even further, and that was damaged in a big storm, and I think they eventually stopped putting it back. That's probably a conversation you need to have with the Historical Society. Okay. I'm sure they're listening to this going, oh my gosh, she's got her dates all wrong and her times all wrong.
Well, it's close enough.
I'm definitely better at the ocean animals than the building history.
Well, let's talk about the ocean animals and what you guys do, and a little bit about the museum and the fact that you guys are open to the public and you do stuff for different schools and kids come out. So tell me about what you guys do and tell me about the aquarium.
Sure. So our main goal is to spread ocean awareness and inspire people through our animals to care about the oceans and want to fall in love with the oceans and protect the oceans the way all of us here have fallen in love with the oceans. All of our animals that we have in here are native to this area, to the Santa Monica Bay. So in our touch tank, you can find things like sea stars and sea anemones, hermit crabs, urchins, sea cucumbers, all those fun things. We've got brand new, just received from another partner aquarium 2 days ago, a brand new octopus.
Wow.
And that is always a treat for kids and adults, to be honest, to come and find. I finally found him today. You probably know that the octopus is the best camouflager out there in the world, and so it took me until today to find him, but I spotted him. He's in there hiding, blending in with the rocks, so definitely a treat to find that. We've got some of our larger animals are our moray eels. We've got 3 different types of local sharks, horn sharks, whale sharks, and leopard sharks. And a few of them have actually just hatched. So we do also have baby sharks right now.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I didn't know about how big is your octopus?
This one, from the half of him I can see, he appears to be pretty small. I'd say like the size of maybe, I don't know, I'm not good at sizes either. What is that, like an orange?
Okay.
A baseball? Somewhere between an orange and a baseball.
Oh, got it. Okay, they're about the same size. It's a softball that's bigger, and then, of course, basketball, but I'm too short to play basketball. But now that is exciting.
That would be a very big octopus to a basketball.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know that octopus are the smartest creatures out there. And
they definitely are.
How do octopuses survive? They just what do they eat? Do they eat the plankton? Or tell me about octopus. I know nothing about octopus.
Oh, well, I'm so excited to talk to you about an octopus. Yes, they are so smart. They actually have 9 brains. So they have one sort of central brain, and then they have like a mini brain in each arm. They've got super strength. So like a 1-pound octopus could lift up 40 pounds. So when you have an octopus at an aquarium, you've got to make sure that your lid on their tank is pretty latched down, weighted, secured, because they're so strong. They're also very squishy. So as long as their eyeball can fit through a space, the rest of their body can squish through that space. So you've got to make sure your lid and stuff is very well sealed. All the pipes are closed off. There's different aquariums that will tell you many different stories of octopus that have gotten out or pulled on a pipe and caused a flood, or eaten animals out of a different exhibit, because they're just so smart, so tricky, so great at escaping. Not to mention their camouflage skills. Like I said, they can not only change the color, but the texture of their skin, so they'll look like a smooth gray rock or like a bumpy pile of shells, whatever they need to do to blend in. And that does help them find their food. Their favorite is crabs. It's like if you could eat cookies all day, they want to eat crabs all day. But they'll eat other stuff too, but crab is definitely their favorite treat.
The kids must go crazy when they go in there. Did you get kids that come in there and come back later and say, I became a scientist because of my trip? That's your story, right? Tell me your story.
We have actually had that happen, yeah. So I actually, oddly enough, grew up in landlocked New Mexico, but I always wanted to be a marine biologist. And I went to college down in San Diego, and then I came up here one summer and stayed with an aunt and uncle who lived nearby the Roundhouse. And I thought, well, that seems like a cool little aquarium. Let me go check it out. And I volunteered there that summer. And then the next year after I graduated college, I came back and got a job and never left. And that was over 20 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
So once the Roundhouse gets you, it really sucks you in and you never want to leave. We do have a lot of volunteers that have gone on to do some really great things for ocean science, for, other types of STEM fields. A lot of our volunteers and even some of our kids that started in summer camp, like what you can probably hear going on behind me right now. Some of those kids I've, found on Facebook, and they're getting their PhD in biology right now. And these are kids that I've known since they were 9 years old. And, we took them on their, first trip down to the beach, and now they're, biochemists.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool to watch happen.
That is phenomenal. It's just the kids right now, or is it like the summer kids? Is there a summer camp? What's going on? I hear the kids in the background right now.
Yes, it is summer camp right now. So we have summer camp for ages 4 to 10, and they do different activities every day. Today is Fossil Day, so they're learning about things like the megalodon shark. And I don't want to say it too loud. I don't think they can hear me from here. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but later they're going to get to excavate their own shark tooth that they're going to get to take home. So that's really fun. We do different things every day. They, can go down to the beach and dig for sand crabs. They, last week when I was running camp, we get to talk about my favorite thing, which is algae and plankton. So we had algae and plankton day. We played some fun games with seaweed, got to collect plankton off the pier and look under the microscope at these little teeny tiny organisms. It's really fun camp if you're interested in science and the ocean and the beach. So I encourage everyone with 4 to 10-year-olds to go to our website and check it out, because we still have a few weeks left of camp that people can sign up for. It is roundhouseaquarium.org, and there you can find info about our open hours. The reason that we open so late during the week is that we usually have kids in here during the day. So in the summer, of course, we have summer camp. During the school year, we have our field trips. So any teachers out there that are looking for a fun activity to bring your class, definitely check us out. We've got programs where students come to us and they get to explore in the aquarium, ask us questions, do activities, and then we go down to the beach as well and explore and learn where sand comes from, and of course talk more about seaweed, since seaweed is the best.
Well, I know where sand comes from. It comes from my shoes.
Yes, once you get home.
Exactly. That scent comes from my shoes in my house. Well, that is so. Now, for the adults, so you're open late so adults could come in because they're the kids during the day?
Yeah. So our public hours are, geared towards anyone. So during the week, that's 2 to 7 p.m. And then on the weekends, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we try to have staff and volunteers around to answer any questions. We do have our touch tank. We alternate that being open and closed every hour, just because it will stress the animals out if we have too many hands in there. So if it's closed when you come in, don't worry, it'll open again. You just got to look at something else for a little while first. But we have volunteers that love to stand by the touch tank, tell you all the cool facts about the animals, and answer any other questions that people have. And then usually a few times a year, we also have some lectures that are more geared towards older kids and adults, and we'll do those in the evening, either, at the local library or, our dolphin talk just on Wednesday, the 24th, that was here at the aquarium. And those are opportunities for adults to kind of dive deeper into some of the more relevant ocean topics.
That is so amazing. I've got to come and visit you. And we're going to talk.
You have to.
Yeah, we're going to talk dolphins in a minute. If you're just joining us now, you're listening to the Boating Hour. And I'm Captain Rick. I'm here every Saturday at 4 p.m. And please be sure to visit us on the web at theboatinghour.com. And now on social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. The Boating Hour with Captain Rick. And for a healthy gut, the best probiotic that exists, Livia One, natural, organic, and allergen-free. And if you're having an event at land or sea, or does your regatta or business or event need reliable two-way radio communication with no drop zones or dead zones? Get a hold of me, Captain Rick. Contact Mobile Relay Associates at Raycom Radios, reliable two-way radios throughout Southern California. And my guest today, Valerie from the Roundhouse Aquarium in Manhattan Beach, right on that wonderful pier that all the surfers look at. So, Valerie, let's talk dolphins. I love dolphins. Let me tell you a quick story. I used to sail dinghies, and I'm in Marina del Rey. And when you're on a dinghy, and you go out the harbor in Marina del Rey, you'll see pods of dolphins often. Almost every sailor I know has come across or been in the middle of pods. And I was with some friends, a friend of mine that had never been in an ocean, and another friend that had never seen a body of water, a lake, river, or an ocean. And as we were going, we're in a small boat, a Cal 20, which was the boat they used in the trailer of Three's Company. And we were going out of the harbor, and we're on the deck, and it was calm seas. All of a sudden, we were surrounded by dolphins that escorted us out the harbor. We were able to even touch them. Of course, one of the girls got scared and thought they were sharks because they had seen movies and this stuff. But they escorted us, and then it got a little choppy. So I turned around, I tacked to go back inside the harbor because we had a nice big mouth with both a south and a north entrance. And the dolphins turned around and followed us from the north end of the jetty all the way to the south end of the jetty. and they just followed us. And then I went around, and they followed us, and they somehow they liked the little dinghy. And then, of course, we went back in, and we waved goodbye to them. So dolphins are I guess, friendly creatures. Are they all friendly? Because my favorite dolphin was Flipper. Or tell me about dolphins. Are there a lot of different species? Tell me. I don't know much about dolphins except they're wonderful.
They are wonderful. They're so fun and such a great creature to fall in love with. And, we hope that everyone listening and everyone out there can experience seeing them out in the wild on the ocean. We get them swimming by the pier almost every single day. And because they're such lovable creatures, they make a good ambassador to help teach people, hey, you love these dolphins. Let's remember to protect their home, the ocean. Most of the time here, we get bottlenose dolphins by the pier, though we can sometimes see common dolphins from the pier. And my friend and coworker, Eric, has been studying through photography and drone videos the dolphins that are off our pier since about 2018. So we are getting a lot of great videos. And if you guys want to see any of them, you can go to our dolphin YouTube channel, which you can find on YouTube if you search at Coastal Dolphin. And sometimes we're even live streaming there. So you'll get alerted if you subscribe. You can get alerted when we go live and see dolphins live right off the Manhattan Beach Pier, see what they're doing. We've observed a lot of different behaviors, including some different family associations. So we've seen, some new moms coming in with their calves. They are a lot like people in their interactions. Moms kind of like to snuggle their babies. They're mammals like us, so the babies are drinking milk from mom. And then, mom is tired from having a newborn, so she has to call in auntie to help babysit for a minute so she can take a break because, like all new moms, she needs that 5-minute nap.
Wow. I didn't realize that about dolphins. How many dolphins in the ocean?
Deserve a 5-minute nap.
Oh yeah, a couple of 5-minute naps.
Yeah, several if you can get them. We get like I said, we normally get the common and the bottlenose here off our pier. There's lots of different types of dolphins in the ocean. I don't want to tell you the wrong number off the top of my head on the number of species, but there are many. There's a bunch. The largest dolphin species actually is the orca. A lot of people think it's a whale because it got that name, killer whale. But the orcas are actually the largest member of the dolphin family. And we do get those in Santa Monica Bay from time to time as well, though I've not been lucky enough to see them off the pier like these bottlenose dolphins. The bottlenose, sometimes, if I know you like surfing, sometimes if you come out, we've seen them surf right alongside some of the human surfers. So there's always a chance that you can catch a wave alongside a dolphin if you're surfing out here.
I've heard of that. I've had many friends that have told me those stories. I've never been lucky enough I'm not that good of a surfer, but I've surfed a lot. A lot of surfers out there have told me unbelievable stories. It's so exciting. And they're friendly. Who are they? What predator goes after dolphins? Or are they pretty safe?
Well, unfortunately for our dolphins, those orcas that were here earlier this year in the end of 2023, December, January, they were the orcas that feed on dolphins.
Oh.
So we, not me, but my friend and coworker Eric, who does our dolphin photography, he did see from his boat some of the orcas taking out a couple dolphins. Fortunately for us, we don't think any of our local pods that we've observed here off the pier were preyed upon, but there were some other ones that were preyed upon. So orcas are definitely their predator. Otherwise, the biggest threats to them are the same as any other ocean animal right now, which are, human impacts, things like climate change, things like trash in the ocean. If we leave trash, on the ground or in the parking lot at our favorite store, that trash does make its way through the storm drains down to the ocean, and it can affect all different animals, including our dolphins. We've seen dolphins from our drone videos near the pier that have plastic bags wrapped around their fins. Fortunately, we watched it kind of shake it off, and it did get free of that plastic bag. But, of course, it's not like there's a trash can in the ocean for that dolphin. So once it got free, it just floated off and, could get tangled with someone else. So it's important that we all remember to put our trash in the land trash cans.
Wow. I do know that there was a few incidences where fishermen that are, I guess they're internationally not allowed to net when they go for tuna because dolphins were getting stuck. So I think that if I remember correctly, the international organizations got together and put some restrictions on the tuna fishermen because if they're fishing for tuna and the dolphins get caught, they would just throw them out or they wouldn't protect them. So now there's some fishing regulations on, the big fishermen, the commercial fishermen. But does your organization lobby at all or fight for some of the things that adversely affect the our fish and dolphins and our marine environment?
Our sort of primary method of, lobbying for ocean protection is through our education programs rather than, through politics or big corporations. We've seen that just educating individuals seems to go a long way because it really is all of us remembering not to litter. That's going to make the biggest difference as far as trash in the ocean. Things like you were talking about with the commercial fisheries, like making sure you know where your seafood is coming from. There's apps you can get like Seafood Watch to make sure that you're getting fish that were sustainably caught because that bycatch thing is a real problem where it's not only dolphins, it can be turtles, whales, sharks, all kinds of things that you aren't trying to catch in your net. If they get caught, that can be detrimental. Like we said, dolphins are mammals. That means they have to come up for air. So if they get tangled in a net underwater, dolphins can actually drown.
My goodness, I never even thought about that.
Yeah, it's usually not on people's radar because it's like, well, they live in the ocean, but they do have to come up for air, which is how we get to see them. So it's a great thing because then they're by the surface where we can see them, unlike a lot of other ocean animals that can live down in the deeps forever and we'll never get to see one. Dolphins have to come up so we get to see them. But that also means we got to protect them and help keep their home clean.
Wow. Valerie, this has been really educational. It's exciting. I know we've barely scratched the surface. I have a lot more questions for you, so I want to invite you and some of your coworkers back on. I'm going to come down and see you. So this has been really exciting. Let's plug your website again and also the YouTube channel.
Sure. So our website is roundhouseaquarium.org. And if you want to see our dolphins on our YouTube channel, you can find us on YouTube at Coastal Dolphin. Be sure to subscribe so you get those live notifications when dolphins are right off the pier.
God, that's so exciting. Well, Valerie, I want to thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's been an exciting show. I'm going to come down and see during one of your. I'd love to look at the dolphins as they come by, and I'm going to go on your channel because I absolutely love dolphins. And of course, Flipper was my favorite. Yes,
you've got to come down and hopefully luck will be in our favor, and they'll swim by right when you get here to meet us.
Well, again, I want to thank you for coming on. Well, that's all the time that we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed our show. As always, we're so very fortunate to have such wonderful and exciting guests. I want to thank our guest today, Valerie from Roundhouse Aquarium. And let's not forget the Coasties, protecting our waters, America's lifesavers and guardians of the sea. You want to hear more about the Coast Guard. The whole month of May, I featured the Coast Guard for the Armed Forces Parade and Fleet Week and the Boater Safety Week. So here at the Boating Hour with Captain Rick, we cover everything that sails, motors, and floats from San Diego to Santa Barbara. Thanks for being with us today, and please be sure to join us next week and every Saturday at 4 p.m. on AM 870. And thanks to our sponsors for the show today. For a healthy gut, Livia One Probiotics, and Raycom radios. Reliable two-way radios throughout Southern California without drop zones, dead batteries, and the inherent limitations of all other communication systems. And we're going to have the founder of that on the show talk all about radios, different kinds of radios, from ham radios to walkie-talkies to having radio communications throughout Southern California. So coming up next week, some exciting guests. We're going to be talking about charters and stuff going on the rest of the summer. And thanks for joining me this week. Keep your emails coming. This is Captain Rick saying, ahoy, fair winds to all, and have a wonderful rest of the summer.